Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a 17-part video series showing you how to create SL house. Let's get started. So to start, let's open a new architecture template. So click on New, drop down, and select Architecture Template, and then press OK. Let's wait for it to load, and then once it's loaded, as you notice, we're in level 1, so we're gonna start here. One thing that we're gonna add is the grid line. So under architecture, we have grid line right here on the right side top. Keyboard shortcut is GR, so you can even type in GR, or you can select this icon. So once you type in GR, you'll be able to add in the grid line. So we start off by clicking below and going up, so the vertical. And if you notice, we have these icons right here. Those are elevation tags, and we want our model to be on the center of this. So roughly around here, I'm gonna select and then going up. Press escape and then escape again. If we zoom in, it started with a vertical grid line that is number 1, and in Revit it recognizes if you add number 1, and then if you add another one, it will create number 2 grid line. So here I'm going to zoom out again, and then I'm going to select grid line number 1. You can then copy it by going to modify and then this icon, or you can just type in CO. That's the keyboard shortcut for copy. So CO, and if you notice, we have some options here. One thing that you want to check is multiple, so that we'll be able to add multiple grid lines at the same time. So here I'm just selecting this again, so select that and move it on the right side, because we want our grid lines to be in sequence going on the right side. So here I'm gonna type in 2200. Next will be 1780. Next will be 3940, and then we're gonna stop at grid line number 4. Don't you worry, even though it's not in the center, we will be able to modify that later, or we could just move it later on. So the importance is we're just adding it now. So let's add in the horizontal grid line. So you can just type in GR again, that's the keyboard shortcut, and then we need to go from right to left. So I'm gonna click it here, and I'm gonna click on the left side. And if you notice, the sequence is still numbers, but in our horizontal grid line we want it to be letters. So what you need to do is just select the grid bubble. You'll be able to change it. So I'm just gonna put in capital A. So here, similar to the numbers, Revit will recognize this, and it will create numbers sequence right here. So it's still selected. We could type in CO, that's for copy command, or we could just select it under modify. So click that. Multiply is already checked because we did it before. It will recognize it, and then it will leave that option as is, so we don't need to check it again. And then we need to grab the A grid line and then pull it downwards, because we're going to add in more grid lines. So from A and then going B, that will be 3620. Next will be 1360. Next is 3660. And then the next will be 4520, 1210, 430, 10, and then lastly it will be 1245. So we have until H grid line. Press escape and then escape again. Now it's a good time for us to select everything, and then you could just drag it. So at least now we know that it's in the middle. And then now what we can do is we could press escape and then escape again. We could then select this, and if you notice we have temporarily dash line here. That indicates that if we move this, it will move on all of them. So I'm just moving it upwards and then on going left side, so that we know that we could have some proper spacing here. So here I'm just gonna do this and then going upwards. And then I'm going to select everything again just to put it in the midpoint or in the middle of the elevation tags. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to select the align dimension. You can type in DI, and then what we usually do is we select each grid lines like that, and then we put another one that is overall. So let's do it here as well. So all the grid line. That's why I gave a more spacious here for the grid line. And then after that we could just select this and then move this one a little bit right there, and we could just move it upwards. So we could just clean it up a little bit. And if you want, what you can do is, if you want another grid bubble on the ends, what you have to do is select each and every one of them and then check the box at the end that it doesn't have the grid bubble. So you will need to do that in order for all the grid bubbles to show. And it's a good idea, especially when you're like me, you're teaching. It's better to coordinate and to see all the grid lines, so that you don't need to keep on moving around just to see the what's this grid line is. So it's a good thing to have all the grid bubbles. So next that we're done with the grid line, we then go to our elevation. I'm just going to close the ceiling plan, we don't need it. So here in our elevation, you can double click south elevation, and then from our south elevation we're gonna do all the necessary changes that we can do. So here what we have is level 1 to level 2. I'm going to select the level 2. Once that's selected, I could then change the elevation to up to 3000 right here, and then click apply. And you can even change the elevation right here as well, just for example. So either way, you can change multiple options right here. So I'm just gonna undo that. I want my level 1 to level 3 to be on that height, 3000. And then now what you can do is you can select this grid line and you could click on copy. Once you click copy, we're going to add level 3. So you can also type this one. You can type it as 3000, and then you have your level 3 right here. The only problem with copying this is that you don't have the floor plan right here. In order to do that, you need to go to view and then click on plan view, floor plan, and then you need to select level 3 and then press OK, and then as you can see, you're in level 3. So another step. So I'm going to undo that, and then you can also do just a regular addition of levels. You can go to your architecture, and then beside the grid line we have level. You can type in LL, that's the keyboard shortcut, and then you can just add another 3000 on that level. If you notice on our levels, we don't have level 3 yet, but once we add this, it will be automatic right here. So you don't need to do the extra step that I showed you under view, plan views, and floor plan. Either way, it will work. What I like to do, especially if I have multiple stories, is to do the copy command, just because that it will be a lot faster. And then if you notice here, when I was like adding the level, I need to do the temporary dimension to see if the level or the dimension that I'm adding is the correct one. So if I'm gonna add another one, if you see it will take a long time just to get the 3000 again. So here I got the 3000, and then I need to zoom in and then zoom out just to add another 3000 to my level. So that takes a while, but at the same time all my floor plans will be here instantly. But if you're doing multiple levels, I think it's a good idea to just use the copy command and then just do the view and then floor plan and then select everything that is not showing up here, and then that's it. So here what I need to do is you need to push this one up. So now, just for an example, if you don't do that, if we go to level 3, the grid line vertical here is not showing. One of the reason is because of this. You need to push this up so that every level will have the same grid line and it's showing. So that's one of the issue if you don't see any grid lines on that level. So you want to make sure that everything is showing. Just extend it, and as you know, we have a temporary dash line here indicating that it's easy to pull it up or down because everything will follow. And then here what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add another level. I'm just gonna add a level probably around 500, and then I'm just gonna press escape to rename this. This one will be, I believe this will be ground floor, and then I want the name to correspond with the view. So the level 4 will be ground floor, and it will be negative 500 from level 1. And then here, as you notice, everything is overlapping, and that's not a good view. You will need to click on this add elbow. Once you click that, you'll be able to extend this one so that everything is visible. You can even move this one right there and this one right here, and still it's still showing that it's negative 500 from level 1. So that's what you have to do in order to make it look professional and everything is not overlapping. So now, just to double check, we have our ground floor, level 1, level 2, and then level 3 right here. Everything is showing. Under elevation, we need to double check that everything is pushed up. So here, let's push it up like that, and then push this one down so everything is showing. And here we need to add elbows so that everything looks proper. So like that. Under north as well, we need to do the same thing. Everything is up, everything is showing. And then we just need to fix this one so that we could add elbows so that nothing is overlapping. South elevation is done, and then just the west elevation. Just gonna do that, pull it there and pull it right there, and move it like that. So now, even in your, just for example, even in your grid line vertical, you can, if you have something like this, you can also add elbows so that you will space it out properly like that. So this one won't be overlapping. So those are the things that you can do by yourself. I showed you how to do it. At least you'll be able to clean out your project and everything is organized. So here I'm just gonna do this, and then it's up to you if you're gonna do it on the rest of your floor plans, just because it's good to be organized like that. And then attention to details is a must in architecture, so always be in a lookout for errors like that, because obviously that's not when client sees it, they will see that, oh, this person is not attentive, or this person is not checking everything if it's there's errors and those kind of stuff. So they might think that you're not professional. So now once we have our levels and grid line, we can start off in level 1. And as you notice, we have so many things that are open right now. We could clean that up. So I just want my level 1, and then from here we're going to add walls. But I want to clean or to delete all of this just to close it off instantly. So here we have close inactive views. Make sure that you're in the level 1 or to the selected view that you want to have, and you don't want to close this, but you just want to close on all of them instantly. So you could just select this one and everything will be closed. Also, before we finish this video, we want to make sure that we have everything saved. So you could click on save, and then let's save this to the location that you want to. So once you selected this, SL house, you put your name in, and before you click on save, click on option. This option has a lot of information that you can change. For example, this maximum backup. So here it will fill up with save files up to 20, and then it will change on, once it hits 21, it will override the first one. So basically it will create multiple files right here, and sometimes that's too much files. So for me, if you're a beginner, choose 10 or put in 10, so that at least you can go back to the files if you made a mistake that you cannot undo. If you're intermediate, I advise 5, and of course if you're expert, 1. But for me, I'm just gonna put it 5. I think that makes sense. It's not too much, but at least I could go back to any save files that I could go back to. So here, this is a must. Make sure to put in a couple of backups that you want. press OK, and then click on Save. So we're gonna stop here for now and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.